Hey guys. Shit. Is that too loud? Okay. I'm Johnny. I'm from Perdoo. Here to tell you a little bit about what we do. So, as Gabriel mentioned, we work in the management area. For those of you that haven't heard of OKR, it's a management framework that Intel invented a few years ago, and that it's now used by Google, most popularity, and a lot of companies worldwide are starting to implement it. But it's not actually that complicated. All OKR means is objectives and key results, and which isn't really anything else than goals and milestones. So what we do is provide a tool for OKR. So we see ourselves as one of the first movers in a category called enterprise goal management software. And with our tool, you can manage and track your goals on a personal, team, and a company level. You can organize all your goals in different time frames, so that's usually quarters for companies. You can link objectives to each other, update progress for each objective, and see how your progress propagates through the company. So right down from a developer, say, to one of the key company objectives. We also provide a dashboard, which gives you an overview over all your progress within the company and the latest key results, latest to-dos. And like I said, to-dos, you can also manage your to-dos according to your OKRs in the system. So let's go into the tool. All right, so this is Adam Smith's profile. These are his objectives, and these are the 3 key results for that objective. So this is the personal profile. We can create a key result here. All right. Yeah, we can create another objective down here. All very fast and very simple. You can also browse other people's OKR within the system. So a lot of people that come to us come from using spreadsheets for this kind of stuff, so this is already quite a big benefit. If you go to Don's profile, he hasn't set any OKRs yet, and because we don't have any permission to change his, there's nothing we can do about that. But what we can do is we can assign one of our key results to him. So this is the linking I was talking about. So if we create a key result here, all right, but I'm in charge of Don. Don works for me. So what I want to do is assign this to Don. And if we go to his page, this has now become an objective for him, and he can define his own key results for that. And then maybe he wants to assign those key results again to another employee or even to a team within the company. For every objective, we also have a details page. So you can add a description for the objective, you can change the color, you can move it to a different time frame. I'll get more into that later. Change the visibility, which especially in Germany is very important because a lot of companies here are concerned about who can see which objectives within the company. Or you can just leave a comment. So this is the People's tab, but exactly the same thing happens on a team level and even on a company level. So you can define the objectives for the entire company. One of the cool features is updating progress for your objectives. So if you change the progress for one of your key results, it'll affect the progress of that objective. And as I mentioned, the linking between all the OKRs causes this to propagate right up through to the company objectives. And this is where the dashboard becomes really nice because it provides an overview of all the progress and all the things you want to know that are going on in your company in one page. So on the left here, we see your personal progress. This is the average of all the progress of your objectives for that time frame. And the same for your team and for your company. You can see what's going on, what's been created today in terms of objectives. And what's quite interesting is that you can straight away see which objectives are critical. So for example, these objectives I can show here and see what's happening and see that Exactly isn't doing a very good job. To make the time frame feature a bit more clear, if we go to Q2, the next quarter, we haven't defined any objectives for that quarter yet. So if we go back to Adam and create an objective, whatever, update progress, and then we can see we've started to make progress for that time frame. The last feature I'll show is the to-do module. Let's go back to the time frame. Never mind, running out of time. All right, just a quick, because I was told to do something a bit more technical as well. This is what we've built Perdoo on. So the key library uses AngularJS in the front end, which I can only recommend to anyone here. Since we've added it, it's been amazing. It's made development a lot faster, made it a lot easier to add features. And everything else you see is pretty standard these days. So HTML5, we use NPM to manage all our tools that you can see here. So we use Bower for dependency management, Grunt for task automation, and Sass as a CSS precompiler. And in the back end, we use PHP together with MySQL. We use Mandrill to send out emails, Stripe for payments, and Composer for our dependency management for PHP. So if you know anything about any of these, we're hiring, so we're very interested to hear from you. Either come up to myself or to Henrik after the demo, or just send us an email and we'll be glad to get in touch. Thank you. Any questions? Do I pick or?
Thank you. It seems quite easy to use. Thanks for sharing. I'm just wondering how easy to import existing data from your existing database, or do you have an API to interface with existing ERP system?
It's not really an ERP system in that case. So like I said, most people come from tools like Excel. So there'll be spreadsheets for OKR that Google provide, for instance. So there isn't really an easy way for people to import current data. There's no tool that so far that customers have said, can we import data from this? So currently, people just copy and paste their stuff in. There are good ways of exporting data. And in terms of APIs, we're looking at integrating tools into the progress of a key result. So for example, one team in your company might be using Salesforce. But that is only really used by the sales team. But what is interesting to the rest of the company is the number that comes out of Salesforce at the end. So we're looking to link the output of Salesforce into one of your objectives so that it feeds into the progress of the company.
Yeah, I have a question here, over here.
Yeah.
So for the integration with any kind of like other tools like GitHub or so to track like commits and stuff, so progress there. I mean, all this is very nice, but I think it would keep me from like the real work to go there and say, okay, another 10%, another 10%. So all this needs to be kind of automated, I think, in the long term. Are you planning on that? Is this a focus? Is it not so much tech driven, but more real labor, like in the factory or something? What are your plans there?
Yeah. So right now, if you look at people that use it right now, right, OKR for them is something they look at the start of the quarter, or even goals in general. Companies look at goals right at the start, put a lot of time into making them, and then they put them away. And then 3 months later, if you're lucky, they dig them out again and look at them again. So like you say, so that's the first need that this tool solves. But obviously, having to upgrade progress makes it a lot more sticky. It makes it more interesting for people to use. And that's exactly where we want to go. Most of our customers tell their employees, can you update this, please, at least like once a month. So it's nothing you don't have to update it every day for it to make use. But definitely, one of the interesting points in the future is the APIs, like you say. So things like GitHub could be really interesting if you have a milestone that you want to reach. Yeah, it's definitely a focus of ours, but it's still in the future. It's not currently in development.
I know in regards to the to-do list part, I know some people's, whatever systems they use, they're very passionate about it. I know you'll pry Todoist from my cold dead hands, but in regards to the goal part, are you planning any sort of integration into like Wunderlist or any sort of like the personal systems that people use?
Do you mean replace the to-do part? Or?
Well, like if I wanted to use the goal part of your system with the current to-do list that I currently use.
Right. Sure. I mean, we haven't thought of that yet, but it's a nice idea for an integration. So you can, currently in the to-do module, you would, on the left-hand side, have a sidebar with all your objectives and key results, and on the right, a to-do list quite similar to Trello, if you've heard of them. And then you can literally just filter all your to-dos by your objectives, so you can see exactly what's important. So if you use Wunderlist separately, it would kind of remove the point of that, if you see what I mean. But an interesting point would be to sync them between Wunderlist and Perdoo.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Judy from Mailjet. So first of all, I think you should use Mailjet instead of Mandrill. Anyways, it's a real question. So I was wondering if you have, just following up on the to-do list comment, you know, my team have a pretty international team all over the place. I use Basecamp to manage kind of their to-dos and goals. What Basecamp doesn't allow me to do is tie it with their OKR, which ties to the bonus from a performance management standpoint. So I was wondering if you have any goals to integrate with project management softwares like Basecamp or Asana, because I think it's actually a really powerful tool to measure performance, to track progress on a global level,
so
to incentivize employees.
That's the idea, a bit like what I explained earlier. So you end up with lots of tools like Basecamp, Asana within your company, but there's always only a few teams, if more than one, that use these tools, right? So Salesforce is an example. So the difference between us and project management software is that Perdoo is something that everybody in the company uses because everybody has some sort of goals that he needs to achieve. So yeah, definitely the idea of integrating with a tool like Basecamp is that you have one output, which is the project done, how far is it completed, and that feeds into one of your objectives for either a person or a team or the company. So yeah, definitely that's how we think of that kind of integration.
We use 7geese within Mimi. I was wondering what the key feature is that differentiates you and makes us want to shop local instead.
So a lot of people come to us from 7geese and they say, well, I don't want to be too businessy here, but it's mainly the simplicity and the UI aspect. So people see Perdoo and they're like, oh, this is really quick, really easy. People log into 7geese and they're like, what do I do? It's like logging into, I don't know, Salesforce or something really complicated. So the UI is a key selling point for us in that respect. 7geese don't offer the linking of OKRs. They don't offer any to-do modules. So those are the key differences there, really.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.